We're on our way to Germany, I think, to see the Burks. We used to stop in the old World War II battlefields outside of Paris, where the French and American armies, the Allies, fought against the Germans. Very heavy casualties. Germans were using mustard gas. Here are the kids, Tommy, playing baseball. Oh, we're in Bitburg now. Little baseball time with Keith and Margie over on the side there. And there's Dryden. What a big dog he was. Carrie Lynn. I'm working with a guy named Rolf Westerfrolke, who has a giant schnauzer also, but it's a female. Dryden was a male. Males are much bigger than the females. He was almost as big as a Great Dane. Giant dog. He wasn't even full grown there, I think. Stuart really trained him well. I've got some movies a year or so later that show him running across the field. Okay, looks like we're on our way back to Paris now. I think I bought some speakers. The speakers I still have on that trip. Looking across, there's the barbed wire trenches that were protecting the soldiers that were waiting to climb up over them and charge the enemy in whatever direction they were. Madness, absolute madness. Boys used to love this. There's the GF with his famous blue turtleneck sweater on. Okay, Tommy, you're going into the battlefield here. This is World War I, 1917. 1914 to 1970 was World War I. There goes Tommy. Used to be light as a feather. Now he weighs as much as I do. You'll be handling your son like that in another couple of years, Tom. There goes Michael. Watch out for that barbed wire. Tommy looks like he's got a little chill there. One of the statuary in Verdun. I'm going to try to send this tape over to you, Adrie. Copy this next week. Get it over to you. There you are, and no one could ever miss Adrie with that coat on. If we ever got lost, we just looked around for that coat and always knew where our meeting point was. Hi, Margie. We used to come here for our Sunday morning movies. Is that what we're doing here? Place du St.Michel, famous square on the left bank of Paris, next to Notre Dame. Notre Dame, of course, is on the Ile de la Cité. It's on an island. And I think we're walking over to Saint-Severin Church pretty soon. Old historic place where we used to see the harpsichord recitals. That's Place du St.Michel. There's Rue Saint-Severin. We're going to see the church there with it. It's Raphael Pugliana was a world-renowned harpsichord player. Cute picture of Margie looking out the window at Tommy. The gargoyles, here they are, Michael. One of your favorite things in Paris, all the gargoyles. Downspouts for water drains. Yeah, we're by the Saint-Severin Church where we went to see the recital of the harpsichord player Pugliana. Quite a pretty church. 300 or 400 years old. This is right around the corner from the English-speaking movie house where we saw Harold and Maude after one of our usual Sunday lunches in Paris. Beautiful stained glass windows. Look at Tommy with his monster teeth. What are you doing there? There is Saint-Julien-le-Pauvre, meaning the poor. Yes, Tommy did a good job with those teeth. Turned himself into a skeleton. Some guys having a serious conversation about Notre Dame and who was the real architect of it. Right across the street from Saint-Julien-le-Pauvre. This magnificent cathedral right next door to a very small, and that was Saint-Julien-le-Pauvre, that's said, right. There's another scene of Paris. I'll be done in a minute, or 5 minutes. Okay. Here comes Michael. And the kitties. Main Street in Paris. Boulevard Saint-Germain, one of our favorites. Tremendous paradox of designs, looking different ways. I once went with Ed Fuhr, an IBMer. They had built a nightclub in the bottom of Saint-Julien-le-Pauvre, and on the walls they still had hanging the chains that chain the prisoners up in the basement of this church. And of course it was a beautiful restaurant now with gorgeous paintings, and then they take you on a tour to some of the dungeons. This is the Cluny Museum. It originally had been a Roman bath location 2,000 years previously. And when the French got money, they turned it, I think the Cluny family was a very wealthy, influential family in one of the Louis the 13th, 14th periods. This is Saint-Chapelle. One of the most beautiful churches in the world, very delicately done. Actually, we're looking at the gate into the courtyard, the Supreme Court of Paris, of that area, and here comes Jacques Alias leading his family. His wife was an attorney who served one of the chief judges, was an intern with one of the chief judges in that law courts. So she hadn't been back to the law courts in years, and Jacques and I worked with each other at the DIC in Tour Septentrion and La Défense, and discussed going on a tour of Paris. And his wife said, why didn't we go visit the law courts? René Claude was his wife's name, attorney. I worked with Jacques in Burbling and also with Jean Bernier. Jean has not returned any prof's notes. Jacques has answered a couple times saying, yeah, we should get together, but I don't think we ever will. Jean had a heart attack, I heard, about 10 years ago. And went back to work at IBM, but I'm not sure how he's doing. Beautiful stained glass windows. I think we'll see the inside of that rose window later in a few minutes. And there it is, the famous blue and red glass of Saint-Chapelle. Beautiful chapel. Really almost a cathedral. Looking good, Mark. Ooh, super. You've been doing your push-ups, huh? Shows. Well, it looks like it. Give me 10. Let's see you do 10. Yeah, on your fists. 1, 2. There are the gargoyles. 3. Mark's doing push-ups on his fists. He's got a body like I used to have when I was 13. He's going to be 6'2". I know, but you're growing up faster than I did. Here's the conciergerie. 14. 15. Good man. Conciergerie, where Marie Antoinette was kept prisoner during her trial in her last home before losing her head. And there's the